current prospect list. And because of my time constraints, I still haven't heard anything about how to log in.
Jeff knows.
Okay. So, Jeff, if at some point you want to come up here and log into this computer, let me know. And then once it's up and running, you can come and work on it while I'm doing this, if you don't mind. All right. So when you look at your current prospect list, you know, I see it as we can make the biggest prospect list ever right now because of the tools that we have. And I think the biggest thing that I see today, and what I'm doing with the internet, it's not about that the internet is going to recruit people for you. It's not going to recruit people for you. But what the internet does is it combines the largest industry in the world with the most exciting industry in the world. And if you got a story that you can tell around that, that is a very exciting BPM. And remember what I said, words matter. So who's that going to attract? I'm still talking mission. I'm still talking literacy. That part hasn't changed. But I'm emphasizing the excitement of the internet and the excitement of the biggest industry in the world. And, you know, when you look at the numbers, okay, on a couple of things here. I'm going to see if it'll pull up because my battery is just about dead. I want to show you this. These are the economics of the financial industry. Okay. Anybody know what Amazon did last week? Amazon is negotiating with Chase right now to start checking accounts.
Wow.
Okay. You want to sit around and keep analyzing, go ahead. But I'm just telling you, that's what's going on. So when I got into this industry, the reason I could recruit anybody, is because everybody wanted to be in the dot-com industry in the 90s. If you were around in the mid-90s, you were in the business world. If people see this, you can't deny what this is. And Amazon understands this, okay? So you have to realize that you take the internet, right? And then the largest taxi service owns no cars. The largest room booking service owns no properties. The largest entertainment service owns no theaters. And the largest retail service owns no inventory. You're going to tell me that this is what's going on in the world? This is what people are excited about. People want to be a part of this movement. If you give them mission, at the end, yes, it's still about talking to people. It's still about doing it. But I'm telling you, these are hot and exciting things to talk about. If you think you're going to email someone a video and they're going to join, you're a fool. I don't think that. I've never thought that. But I do know this. Today, what's different is people are intolerant of inefficiency. You may not understand that. But what the internet has done, if you look at the internet, if you really study it deeply, it's all about saving time. The internet gives us our time back. And we live in a world where people want to do more in less time. That's just America. That's just who we are. And time wasters are going to get killed in the future. It may have worked for 20 years, but I don't think time wasting is good. So all that we're saying is that if you send somebody a video, they still got to be a winner. You still got to meet with them one-on-one. But the video just saves you the time of, hey, did I drive over there and give them a book? And they said no. I gave them the book through the video. That's all. Okay? But guess what I'm going to tell you? 95% of the people, online, not online, they still ain't going to do the work that it takes. Because it still comes down to a high numbers game. And so, you know, when I look at the internet, the reason it can change us is because right now you can make a new list of people that can be excited about financial services. They can be excited about financial literacy, but they can be excited about technology. And what I suggest to you, and what I did, and it really worked for me over the weekend, is I want you to go to Facebook, I want you to go to Instagram, and I want you to go to Snap, if you do that, Snapchat, and I want you to go through your friends list, and I want you to identify a minimum of 25 people that you can go approach them with a fresh story right now about what we're doing. At least 25. Next thing we want you to do after that is go to LinkedIn. Now let me know when that's ready to go live, Jeff, okay? I'll keep going until that's ready. LinkedIn is a business, so this is more personal, although not necessarily. It can be. This is more business. So go to LinkedIn and make your connections. But have you updated your page, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, right? But do you have it? And there, pull another minimum 25 names on LinkedIn. Somebody you can talk. They'd be interested in talking about financial literacy. They'd be interested in talking about financial solutions. They'd be interested in talking about the technology aspect of things. Imagine if you had a business that solved where this industry has screwed up, but also where it's going. Everybody's talking the literacy game, but what if you had to answer to both, or you could offer both, right? So I think that's just something that can really explode recruiting. Well, next thing is go to your client list. Now, if you're new, stick to the first two, okay? Client list. All of your clients. And who on your client list, again, would you be able to go to your Transamerica and look through your stuff? Go to your, what's the securities thing that everybody goes on? Red Tail, but there's another one. The securities thing we log into for mutual funds. What's that thing called? DST Vision. Nationwide. Go through your client list and come up with another minimum 25 names. And then lastly, you go to your, what I call to the graveyard. All right? The graveyard is past associates. The problem with most of you is the same thing I told my guys the other night. Your only game is going to number 4, a lot of you. That's your own playbook is always the same old thing. And I'm going to say this a little nicer than I said it the other night. There's a pretty good chance that they weren't a winner the first time around. Okay? There's a reason they didn't see it the first time around. And I know you wanted to see it the second time around, but they don't, usually. But usually, you know, there's an old saying, if some people just don't see it, they don't see it. Right? And then, now, you can use a video, okay, that's what you want to use. But you can also do a one-on-one appointment. You can also give them a blue book. Would you think if your name was the first one listed in the blue book, under the credits, you'd probably like the blue book? Mm-hmm. I like the blue book, because my name is in it, and it's a good book. But I just don't think it's, if you don't use it, you should be sent to a Soviet death camp. I don't think so. I don't believe that. But I think it's awesome, and if you don't use it, you're crazy. So I think a blue book is the best one-on-one, especially face-to-face, right? So give out blue books. The workshops are amazing, right? Utilize them. We don't have them all the time, but we still have them all the time. We don't have to have them 6 days a week. Whenever we have them, utilize them. What's great about the workshops we have, because we don't have them as frequent, there's always a lot of people in the workshops. They always got a good crowd in there. So people are going to feel good in a workshop. So invite people to the workshops. These are great tools, right? Then we have, are we getting close to starting there, or do we have it? Home BPM. Office BPM. Right? Heartland. These are all tools that we have. The most important thing of all, guys, is that you don't just do step 1, but you move to step 2. Step 2 is where everything happens. But let me tell you that it's still maybe 1 out of 20. That part hasn't changed. What do I mean by 1 out of 20, Michael?
Well, the 20 that you send out, that one person, that one, you're going to get the one-on-one, the blue book, the workshop, whichever it is.
And 1 out of 20 is going to turn into something probably significant. But see, what we always do is whatever the new medium that comes out, that now becomes the new silver magic bullet for everything. If it's the blue book, we do it with the blue book. If it's the workshop, we've done it with the workshop. We do it. If it's technology, we do it with technology. But the reality is then what happens typically is we send out 5 videos, nothing happens. We drop off 5 blue books, nothing happens. We invite 3 guys to the workshop, 1 shows up, they didn't like it. And now all of a sudden we have now defined that new tool and put it into a box forever as to what it is. Why? Because we keep forgetting that none of these tools will ever change human nature. Most people won't do a damn thing about anything. That's just the way that it is. Look at how difficult it is to get people just to come on a Monday morning at 10 o'clock. Most of you couldn't figure out a way to get here at 10 o'clock. Half of you did, half of you didn't. 10 o'clock, you're an adult. 10 o'clock. You want to change your life forever? 10 a.m., you can't pull it off. You just can't do it. But you want to change the legacy of your family for the next 20 generations. Okay, okay, you probably will if you can't get to a meeting at 10 o'clock. Sure. You're going to be really successful in life if you can't get to a meeting at 10 o'clock because you're a little tired this morning. I mean, it's just the truth. Now, nobody likes that. But see, this is the part that hasn't changed. You follow me? That's the part, regardless of, none of these is the magic bullet. But I want to take the training, I want to take that part off the table. I still don't see anybody on here, Jeff, right? Where's Jeff? Okay. I don't see anything happening. No, I mean, guys, as soon as we start, I'll get it up there. I know some of you, this is all you're here for, is this income tax. This is the new magic bullet today. You're going to come out of here today, you're going to be floating around. You won't even touch the ground on the way to the parking lot because of how much money you're going to make from income taxes. But it's still 1 out of 20. I just want, that part ain't going to change. I'm saying, out of 20, I'm not saying 19 people will say no. But only 1 out of 20 will be an MD. That's going to produce something. Okay, great. Do I need to, will I know, or should I just keep looking and then you'll tell me? You'll tell me. Perfect. Okay, so when Jeff gives me the signal, I'll stop. Okay? So that's the part that hasn't changed. And what I know is that the only answer is more volume. I don't understand that. It's just, do you have to have a 95% casualty rate? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I haven't figured that. I don't have that figured out. But I just like the idea of the fact that we could get a lot more from less. And look, at the end of the day, people that are future focused are exactly the people I want in my business. Follow me? I want people that are on technology. I want people that when they get up in the morning, they're excited about what we have. Okay? But I'm also not confused about the human nature side. One of the things I started doing is I record all my trainings. We post them. We have our own website. You can watch them online. Why? Because, but Angelo, but if you do that, like, what if people don't come to the meeting? They don't come to the meeting anyways. Why do we always run on fear? My kids' generation isn't going to do it that way. But at least I can show that I'm on the cutting edge and that I'm future focused. And when somebody joins me, they see this guy thinks like a visionary. This person is future focused. And he doesn't want to save whales only. He wants to help people. He loves whales, but he loves capitalism too. And if you understand what I mean by that, that's okay. If you don't understand it, you don't like it, it doesn't really matter. I'm just telling you that if you're future focused, you're going to attract a different kind of person. That's what it is. I looked around myself and why do I keep attracting what I'm attracting? It's because of the message that I keep putting out there. You can change your business, folks, just like that. You don't even have to do it with technology. You can do it with just getting excited about any one of these things and knowing how to properly market that in the world. That part hasn't changed. But what you have to realize is, when you're done with a presentation, when you're done with a meeting, say, who would that have gotten excited? What type of person? What type of person would be excited to plug into the environment that we have? What person would about coming to the different events that we have? What type of a person would be excited about Thursday night? What kind of person would be excited about a big meeting that's coming up? Who are these people? That's what I think is about the internet. And what the reality is it's just like I shared with the group the other day. Fox News Channel, I just saw an article the other day that within 2 years, they're planning on cutting their advertising down to only 2 minutes of every hour. So when you tune into their channel, 58 minutes will be content, 2 minutes will be commercials. Now, why would they do that? Because they recognize that nobody's going to really be watching TV anymore. And ad revenue is going to go down because of devices and online. That's why when you go to the movie theater now, it's more of an experience than it is just about the movie. They all have food, they all have recliners, because they know you could stream on YouTube probably a bootleg version of that movie. So these are just things that are coming. So when you're out in the universe and you're talking about things like Heartland that nobody has, when you're out talking about Legacy Shield, stuff that nobody has, what we're about to get, okay, it looks like they're starting. When you talk about this is at the cutting edge. And you position yourself from a marketing standpoint to be able to attract big thinkers. And there's a difference. And capitalists. Nothing wrong with capitalists, by the way. All right? Some are bad, but a lot are good too. All right, I think we're good to go, right? Are we good? I see Swan up there. Okay. Huh?